Y'all, we finally got our Love Island content. And the internet swears Jess Hilarious woke up and chose violence because she just came for Olandria. That might have been the worst move she's made in a long time, because what started out as shade about phony love turned into a dragging so brutal. She had to delete her own words just to survive it. Alandra lit her up like she'd been waiting for this moment her whole life. And she wasn't fighting alone. Olandria's fans stood shoulder to shoulder with her, telling Jess to take several seats. From the looks of things, Jess really did get the message loud and clear. Y'all know I can't let that slide, so let's talk about it. Are y'all part of the Olandria hive? Drop that in the chat. Because first of all, what was this even on? Check out this moment that sparked all the drama.
Label me when that moment of weakness, and that's not fair, you know? So after all of that, I was like, you know what? I'm so happy that I was blessed with this guy who allows me to bask in my femininity, you know what I mean? Allows me to be soft. You know what? He takes the wheel. Usually I'm a control freak. I let him do everything, you know? I said I want to go to Europe. We was in Europe. I want to be a model. I was in 2 shoots, you know what I mean? Like, the support that I have from this guy is unreal. So it allows me to be the soft woman that I've always wanted to be.
So y'all probably watched that while grinning from ear to ear. Because don't we all just love love? Well, self-appointed body language expert Jess Hilarious had a whole bunch of shade to throw. But before we even get into Jess's shady comments, let's rewind a little and talk about the love story between Alandra and Nick, because it's important to understand the context and where Jess's comment was really coming from. This love story didn't just appear out of thin air. Everybody knows they met on Love Island US Season 7, but here's the twist. Neither of them was each other's first choice. Nick originally linked with Sierra while Alandra had her thing going on with Taylor. Both of them locked into separate connections, but the wild part, something fans noticed during the show, was that even while they were with other people, Nick would still shoot his shot during challenges. He'd drop hints, compliment Alandra, and try to kiss her every chance he got, making it clear he was feeling her. The only problem? Alandra didn't catch on. She thought he was just playing along for the challenges. Then the plot flipped upside down. Taylor ditched Alandra for Clark, leaving her single. And as fate would have it, Sierra, Nick's love interest at the time, got booted from the show when her past came back to bite her. Old tweets resurfaced of her making ugly, racist comments about Asian people, and she had to go. Suddenly, Nick and Alandra's hearts were wide open. That's when the producers stepped in like puppet masters. They saw the chemistry that was already there and basically said, "Y'all need to stop playing and get it together, because the whole world sees what's going on." From that point forward, the two became inseparable. Now this is the relationship Jess Hilarious wants to call fake? Nick and Alandra's fans weren't having it. They were like, sit your tail down. And let's be real, if Nick and Alandra were just chasing clout, they would have cracked under the pressure of Love Island's chaos. Instead, they came out stronger, and their bond only grew once the cameras stopped rolling. Brand deal after brand deal, trip after trip, talking about Greece, photo shoots, everything. So, what caused all this heat? Jess Hilarious decided to stir the pot a little too much after the Shade Room posted a clip from Alandra's interview on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. During the interview, Alandra melted with praise for Nick. "I'm so happy I was blessed with this guy who allows me to bask in my femininity. He lets me be soft, even though I'm usually a control freak. I told him I wanted to go to Europe. Next thing you know, we're in Europe. I said I wanted to be a model, and suddenly I'm booked for 2 shoots." She went on about how Nick supports her dreams, makes her feel safe, and actually delivers on his promises. From Teen Vogue shoutouts to modeling campaigns, Nick has been putting his girl in position to win. What many fans saw as a sweet exchange between the couple, Jess saw as something completely different.
What? I'm so happy that I was blessed with this guy who allows me to bask in my femininity, you know what I mean? Allows me to be soft. You know what? He takes the wheel. Usually I'm a control freak. I let him do everything.
Y'all, Jasper was worried about eye contact. Like, really? Eye contact doesn't get you Vogue spreads, sis. It doesn't fly you out to Europe, sis. Many people felt like Jess was just nitpicking body language while Nick was literally changing Alandra's life. According to her, Nick and Alandra's relationship didn't even look real. She called it a performance for the cameras. But that wasn't all. Jess zeroed in on the fact that Nick wasn't making direct eye contact with Alandra while she was praising him. And in classic Jess fashion, she shaded Nick, implying he didn't deserve her and that one day Alandra would find someone better. Here's exactly what Jess said. "This is so laughable that everybody's going along with this phony. This girl will one day be with the real love of her life. Someone who actually looks into her effing eyes when she's acknowledging him the way she does here. Someone that's going to be speaking about her the way she's speaking about Nick. This is all for the show." Now, to be fair, some folks actually agreed with Jess. Not because they hated Nick Olandria, but because they've seen this movie before, and history has a nasty habit of repeating itself. Take former Love Island couple Kinney and Jana, for example. For over a year, Jana thought she was in a loving relationship. Then receipts dropped showing Kinney clowning her in texts, using racial slurs, and admitting he was only with her for business opportunities. He was never really into black women. He was only in it for the brand deals. Yeah, that was said. And then there was another train wreck. Whitney later revealed that Logan, and even his mother, made racist remarks, with him joking about her skin being dirty. On top of that, he constantly belittled her looks and counted her pockets. Again, another dude just using a black woman for clout and access. So yeah, some people feel they have every right to be skeptical when it comes to these Love Island interracial couples. To them, Nick Olandria could be headed down the same road. Some even claim that the couple's body language and racial differences already tell the story. But dragging Nick into the same box over the sins of others? That's reaching for drama that just isn't there. Especially when, as far as we know, Nick has shown nothing but green flags. Still, not everybody leaned into the same skepticism. The majority, who found Jess's remarks mean and condescending, made sure she felt the heat for her negative and, as many described it, distasteful comment. And when I tell you they read her for filth, baby.
Just mind your business for the 50 millionth time. You're not hilarious, you're not funny, you're not a good radio host. Just go fade into oblivion or something.
If you didn't think that was harsh, this one user doubled down by saying, "Jess hilarious commenting on love or relationships is laughable. She's the stereotypical black woman. Unfortunately, it's women like you, Jess, who continue to sour our names as black women and keep us in the statistics of being baby mamas. You're too grown and should be too busy and occupied with providing for your kids, because we know their dads won't." Ooh y'all, what's the tea? Another user came in with equal force saying, "Mind you, Jess hilarious has no one to talk about her like this or look into her eyes. A man on her arm that actually likes her? No man on your arm. But last time I checked, Jess was engaged. Still, she probably should have thought about her own life choices before writing that paragraph, because those comments were just too spicy. And this wasn't even new behavior. Jess has a messy history of throwing shots at other people's relationships. She's had public fallouts, messy breakups, and fans constantly accuse her of projecting her own issues onto others. So when she dragged Nick Olandria, people weren't shocked. They just said, here she goes again." At this point, Jess's comment sounded less like shade and more like free therapy she should have kept private. Deleting the comment was basically her waving a white flag, and that's exactly what she did. She didn't expect Nick Olandria's fans to come that hard, but that's what happens when you underestimate a fan base that rides for their couple. But speaking of heat, let's not forget Sierra. A lot of fans are convinced she's somewhere punching the air after seeing Nick Olandria's interview. Rumor has it she might even be gearing up for a filmed response of her own. And y'all, if that happens, this story is about to get even messier. The thought of her teaming up with Jess? That's chaos nobody's ready for. Imagine Jess's bitterness plus Sierra's grudge all aimed at Alandra. Nick Olandria fans would have a field day tearing them apart. But let's zoom out for a second, because this drama cracked open a bigger conversation. Many pointed out this isn't just about Jess being messy or Sierra lurking in the shadows. It's about how black women and interracial couples are viewed on reality TV. Time and time again, we've seen them doubted, disrespected, and accused of being used, just like the examples we mentioned earlier. And this is exactly why so many fans are hypersensitive when it comes to Alandra. They don't want to see her played. But interestingly, that's also why Nick Olandria's fans are rallying so hard right now. It's not just about clapping back at Jess. It's about protecting Alandra's peace and hoping this one relationship actually makes it to the aisle with a happily ever after ending. But here's the real question. Do y'all think the clapbacks against Jess went too far? Or did she deserve every bit of it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because I'll be reading through. Maybe this isn't just about Jess being messy. Maybe it's about fans finally drawing a line in the sand to protect Alandra at all costs.